Hello everyone and welcome back to another Minecraft video. Today I'm going to be going over 8 different arch or wall designs for your Minecraft builds and how you can make them. So let's go ahead and go through the store and let's get started. So the first arch here in this video is going to be what I call the long distance arch. It's the widest one we have for one singular part. You can see here using different colors of stairs and the slabs where each place goes, but we're going to quickly move on and go ahead and show the updated one. So we've all turned this into one block, and this is what it looks like as one coherent build. Very simple. It can be textured. Obviously this is done in wood, so I've just used the normal strip log and plank type of texturing that I always use. And as you can see, it has this open hole along this top corner on both ends where the arch meets the ground, and we're going to show how that is useful later. But essentially you see this big main area under the arch here, and then those tiny little holes, and what you can do is then proceed to update those. And to fill in the back, we're going to throw in a background behind it and not in it to leave some more depth. So for the main area, we're going to use the textured stone wall that I like to use with stone bricks and normal stone. In creative, I like to use the mossy cobblestone or the mossy stone brick just to get some more color in there, but usually I will just use the stone brick and normal stone. In the small areas, you can see we have the spruce logs behind it. This goes with the spruce idea of the entire arch in general, and also offers another color compared to just having flat stone behind the entire build. Next up, we have what I call the circle arch. This is obviously a reference to the circle at the top of these. It's thinner than the long distance. Like I said, everything else here is going to be thinner than the long distance arch. It's 8 blocks tall. All of these are 8 blocks tall, so that's always the same. Most of them are between 5 and 6. I did use the cut stone block here, or the smooth stone here, just because it has those borders along the side, so you can see exactly how many blocks are there. This is our first use of trapdoors here to try and frame it and give it more shape in the form of a circle as compared to the weird kind of shape that it gives if I remove these trapdoors. And if you go ahead and texture it, this is a bit more what it would look like. You can see the circle shape a bit better here with the texture wood compared to the weird multicolor mess of the blueprint that I have on here. But you can see how this little circle at the top almost acts as like a frame to be used. Similar to the previous design with the long distance arch, this can be used for another block or just to show something off, or windows, debating on what you want to do with your house. Now as we fill in the back here, I am going to use the idea of a different block instead of a window, as these are not homes, these are just wall designs. So I used the stone design once again on the bottom part and used the spruce logs in the back just to, like I said, give some more color to it. Not all of these are going to have the same 2-block design, as it kind of depends on what kind of arch it has and what allows. But this is another example of just being able to use 2 different blocks in the background, and it just gives a lot more color in the build. And just doing what you can to try and fill in these areas and try and give some more color and depth and all of that. Next up, we have what I call the framer. This is essentially just a frame in the middle of this design, and this is more of a wall design compared to an arch design, as seen in the video title. Not all of these are arches. Somewhat similar design to the circle arch from the last example. It's just that instead of being filled in above it, we are going to just use 2 blocks on the side to almost act as supports. Now once you all set this in as 1 block, this is more what it'll look like. You can see the frame start to take place and just how it shows off each part of the wall. And this will obviously translate over here into where you fill this in. This can work as similar to the circle arch, where you put a different block behind the frame, but I decided to just go with the same stone wall design, as I felt it worked better, more as a decoration as compared to like a way to switch blocks behind it. Next up, what we have is what I call the center of attention. It's essentially just one open area in the middle of a wall, which leaves for less of a kind of decorative outside wall design, and this would be more of your main wall. You'd probably leave your windows behind this, or maybe just a different block. Once again, there will be no windows here, as this is just a wall and not the final build. Now as we move to the texture design, there is going to be a lot more texturing here because it's more of a block palette compared to using stairs and spruce trapdoors, where obviously there's only the spruce plank variety of those. So as you can see, very one-sided, just kind of leaving that kind of open hole in the middle. And as you go to fill it in, you'll see here that it still overpowers it, but if you put in a block that will not fight against it, but work with it as a different color, it can help add color to the build, and at the end will make your build look better in the final product. Next up, what we have is what I call the Wild West design. Obviously it's not as noticeable here, but it uses a lot of trapdoors and slabs and kind of encloses it into 3 separate sections. You have the bottom area, which has the slight curve at the bottom, the middle area, which is seen by the little diagonal trapdoors you have, and then the top area, which is basically the exact opposite of the bottom area. Now as we move on to the built-in part, we have obviously the spruce again. All of these are going to be spruce based because it's just the easiest for me to work with. You can see how it all works together. You can see it turn more into a Wild West theme. You could see this in a very good amount of, like, I guess saloons, I feel like is where I would see this the most often. And it's just a very simple design to recreate, and I think it's probably one of the best in here. But as you fill it in here, you'll see, yeah, this is kind of where you lock in that Wild West theme. Now obviously, depending on what blocks you use and what blocks you use in the background, this may change the theme of it, so it may not look Wild West. You may do like iron blocks in the back with stone in the front, make it more industrial, and that would definitely work exactly the same. And that just shows how viable all of these options are for other designs and other kinds of themes. Now this is the simple arch. This is the easiest one on here. It's just 2 trapdoors, 2 stairs, and 2 slabs for each wall piece. So it's very simple to recreate. As you can see here, you really only need 4 different kinds of blocks. You need 4 stairs, 4 slabs, 4 trapdoors to do this entire design, plus whatever blocks you're using. And that just shows, like, some arches don't need to be completely overdone to look good. Because as you can see here, as we move into the spruced up part, you're going to see it all blends in a lot better, and with the texturing, you kind of don't notice how awkward, I guess, the arch is compared to the other design where it felt a lot blockier, and I think a lot of that is just due to the different color. I just did that to try and make it as noticeable as possible for you viewers, just to see what kind of colors are used in each one. Not colors, what kind of blocks are used in each one to get the shape. And as we're going to go ahead and build behind it, you're going to see here that it really highlights the block behind it, as it only has that one main area below it. And it's just simple and can be used for really anything. This one I'd probably use for more medieval or maybe some just major builds, as it's just really easy to recreate and relatively simple and just fits whatever theme you're going for. Similar to the Wild West arch, although I feel like this would probably work better for more themes compared to the Wild West arch, just due to the simplicity of it and how easy it is to recreate. Next up, we have what I call the diagonal cut. Obviously, it's a lot of just diagonal lines using slabs. There's really more slabs here than anything, just to try and get the best diagonal shape, as if you use full blocks, it would look a bit awkward compared to using these slabs. Now you can kind of edit these as you want. It'll just shift everything, down 1 block or half a block or whatever you want to do. It can really just be changed up to your opinion. Now as you're going to fill it in, it's going to look a bit more uniform here, and it's going to fit in a lot more, as it's all going to be 1 block and yada yada yada. All the normal stuff here. Obviously the shape is the same, it's just the texturing and all of it being the same color makes it look a lot more uniform. And as we move into the final thing, you'll see here how it works. I think this probably is one of my least favorites in this list, which is funny because it's near the end. But it works for what it's meant to do. I don't really understand what kind of build this could be used for. I think it's really up to whoever's building it, and can be used really for a majority of things, maybe for something like a lighthouse where you can use it to frame the lines. I'm not really sure, but like I said, it's up to you and how you are able to use each of these designs. Finally, we have what I call the Omega arch. Obviously here it's going to look a bit awkward as it's all feels very blocky, and you can't really see it just due to this, but if you look here, obviously you can see how each one is built with 6 stairs and 4 trapdoors, as well as the 2 slabs at the very top of the build. And as we go ahead and move on to the uniform version here, you'll see how it sort of finds the shape of an omega symbol. That's where I got the name from, obviously. And it's just very simple. Maybe not as simple as some of the other designs, but once you kind of understand what you're doing here, it's really simple to recreate. It's really just 2 stairs together and a trapdoor, and then a trapdoor stair, and then just the 2 slabs in the middle. So as you're going to go ahead, eventually you'll have to fill in the back. We're just going to go ahead and use the spruce logs again here, and it just, you know, with a darker color in the background with the spruce wood like this, you can really just see that shape even better. So it's really just using the right blocks can make a shape look better or worse. It's really just up to you, and just, you know, experimenting with all of this is what helps out in the long run for people who are trying to build these. And yeah, so that's going to be our final arch today, and I'm going to go ahead and move into the outro. Hey everyone, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe, and also hit that bell so you get notified whenever I release videos. I hope to release on Saturdays around noon Eastern Standard Time. So look forward to that next week, and I will see you then. Deuces.